And I want to also say, guys, don't think what I'm saying is going to be true for everybody else. This is just my experience. I have other people that were happy with CRST. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cayenne, and I'm back at it again with another video. Today I'm talking about why CRST had to go, why I had to leave, and why I ain't coming back. So stay tuned and find out more. So today we're talking about CRST. I know you might be thinking this is the same guy that said CRST is the best company in the world, and blah blah blah. They were the best company at a time, and for certain reasons, I would definitely say that. But yesterday is not today, so I had to do what I had to do, and I left the company. Now, I'll go through a timeline of what I've experienced with them and so forth. But the first part and the first thing I can realize where they messed up at was orientation pay. So when my recruiter came to my school and was talking to us about CRST and how great it is and why we should go there, they basically said that we're paid $100 per day for orientation. Orientation came, it went, I got paid. I realized I only got paid $100 for 2 days. Called up the recruiter that I was working with, and they basically told me that I don't know what you were told, but orientation pay is $100 for both days. I just thought it was kind of weird that the recruiter that came to my school told me something else, but then I was thinking maybe either he lied or he was just misinformed, because I'm thinking he probably was misinformed. He didn't know what was going on, because most companies will pay you at least $100 a day. So to get paid $50, I was like, that's kind of odd, but okay. And a lot of companies nowadays that are in trucking, what they'll do is pay you for each day of training at least $100. There's some companies that will pay you, for orientation, they'll pay you at least $100. And then there's some companies that'll pay you just a flat rate for the whole week, like $700 for the first week and second week, and until you're driving on your own. And that just goes to the second way CRST just started to rub me wrong. They also told me that when I'm training, like, learning to drive with a trainer and I'm learning the ropes of being a trucker, they told me that I would get a flat rate for that training period. It was 45 days. I never got a flat rate. I was getting paid cent per mile from the start. And like I said, a lot of these other companies, they start you off by paying you at a certain set flat rate per week because they know, you're a new driver. That you're not going to be able to drive a lot of miles because you don't know certain things about how the clock works. You don't know about maybe scheduling, so they give you a flat rate. I was out the gate, cent per mile, 45 cents, and those two things already were starting to rub me wrong, but like I said, I figured it is what it is. I'm here. And then what the next thing that rubbed me wrong was, basically I was sold this dream that when I hit the 3 month mark, the 3 months of driving with CRST, I'll be able to do all type of different types of trucking, like dry van, reefer, flatbed, anything else that they offered, I was able to get it. And at the 3 month mark, when it finally came, that was not the case. I was told I would get a call at that 3 month mark. I never got a call. I had to call them, and they told me that they had no accounts available. I couldn't do solo. For a flatbed, I had to do lease purchase. So I couldn't. I had to just do team. And team is cool and all, but when I learned about truck driving, I never imagined myself being a team driver. I thought I really and truly just thought trucking was simply a man, his truck, and a dog driving on the road. I never really thought about a team driver, like driving the truck and there's someone else in the truck driving as well. But, the more you know, right? But like I said, I was sold this dream that I could do all these different accounts while I'm with CRST, and that was a benefit of working with us, because working with CRST, because you can do different kind of trucking and see what fits you the best. At 3 months, 3 months came and I couldn't do nothing. They said there was nothing available for me. And I want to also say, guys, don't think what I'm saying is going to be true for everybody else. This is just my experience. I have other people that were happy with CRST. I will say as well, they have a very good lease purchase program. So if you guys are thinking about doing that, go forward with CRST. Their load board is great. I recommend doing their flatbed lease because that's what I plan to do. I may not do leasing through a company. I might lease through actual truck dealership, but that's another story. So yeah, so they told me that I would be able to do a lot of different accounts when I hit 3 months. 3 months came and I was told you gotta stay put, my boy. So that was kind of disheartening. Disheartening. Another way that they, just rubbed me wrong was basically when they told me that they have a pharma account. The pharma account is like moving pharmaceuticals from point A to point B. I don't know the exact I don't know the exact intricacies, you know what I'm trying to say. I don't know the exact ins and out of it, but basically you would get, it's still a team job because most of CRST is trying to push team jobs. So they told me that there will be a team, you'll be doing team pharma, you'll get a dedicated amount of miles. You're going from pretty much the same place back and forth. You'll get a high pay rate, 95 cents a mile. That's like 80 something, but plus because you're doing teams or something, you get an extra like 15 cents, so it comes out to 95 cents. So when I heard about that, I mean, it sold me. I mean, I figured out my 3 month mark. I'll try to get pharma, why not? And if that doesn't work out, at least I can do other trucking fields and until I can do pharma. 3 months came. Like I said, I learned I couldn't do pharma unless you have at least 6 months with this company. And beyond that, I learned that to get the pharma account, you got to have no background history, like no arrests or nothing crazy, nothing small. Even the smallest thing they say that they also look at. So, for those of you who heard about this pharma account, you got to have at least 6 months experience. It is a team's job, and you can't have no background of any kind with any kind of arrest or anything at all. So, like I said, it wasn't bad hearing that. It's just that that's not what I was told when I got on, and now I'm hearing all these different stipulations for certain things. So, so after that, I pretty much finished training. Training was fine. I had the best mentor. He actually, I still stay in touch, and he doesn't drive anymore. He actually got hurt, so he's off the truck. But I trained with him 45 days. It was a great experience. The first driver I got after him, because he told me, like, dude, it's hard to find a good driver, man. You'll have a hard time, trust me. I was like, man, I doubt it. You're a good trainer. I'm getting along with you. I'm sure I'll get along fine. The next driver I got, we got along fine for the first maybe 2 days, maybe three, if that. And I mean, that's not why I'm leaving CRST though. That's not their fault. But when I was working with him, I just realized that I guess I don't know, I'm kind of giving CRST the benefit of the doubt as well while I'm still talking about them. The first day with a driver, they had me doing a bunch of trailer shuffles, like moving trailers from point A to point B. Like, I'm not getting paid cents per mile for this, I'm getting paid like peanuts, like $10, $7, $8, and I'm moving trailers. At the end of the day, it adds up. I'm burning my hours to move trailers, and I'm not getting paid for it. Like, that's booty, that's butt cheeks. That's not what I'm trying to do here. So that was the first day. That whole driving with that driver was actually, we drove for about three weeks, and we barely got any miles. Like, we were begging and pleading to get miles, like good trips to like California. I know some folks don't like to drive there, but hey, listen, man, I'm paid by the mile. I will drive to California. I've been there plenty of times, and I always liked it because I got paid good. From Florida to California, that's about 2,000 miles. That's a good check for me. And that's always going back and forth. So that's great. So I never got any good mileage with them. Like from the 45 days training to getting this new trainer, this new driver, I drove it for a month. I've only gotten 5,000 miles, maybe two times. Maybe two times I got it 5,000 miles. Now that's a good week for me, you know. I wanted to get paid at least $1,000 a week. I was not seeing that with CRST, and I had friends who was doing trucking, and I got, you see videos online and all that stuff, and they're making so much money doing trucking. With CRST, you really can do it, if you're getting the miles, but I wasn't getting the miles. I figured maybe because I'm new, maybe I have a bad record with them or something. I'm not, doing loads on time or something. So me and that second driver, we parted ways. He chose to leave the company for his personal reasons, and I went on with the next driver. Now this driver, actually, I will say I appreciate driving with him. I drove with him, and he was getting those trips to California. Yeah, he had like a dedicated route almost. I'm talking about with the two drivers I had prior, we were begging, pleading, hoping, wishing, praying for a trip to California. Excuse me. With this guy, we got trips to California on the first day. Then we got a trip from Florida to California, then from California to Florida, then back to California again. Like he was getting the miles. Talking about these are trips I've been coveting, you know what I'm saying? Trips I've been praying for, and now I'm getting them back to back. Like, bro, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? Checks were looking nice. I just know I need to get the miles, and I've seen him getting the miles. I'm like, okay, I'm good now. I'm Gucci. He also left the company, like I said, personal reasons, right? So meanwhile, I'm, saying, dang, things were looking so good, and now I've got to go back to the scraps again, like the scrap loads. So I get a temporary driver in the meantime before I got my new permanent driver. I got a temporary driver, and it's actually a lady. She was great. She didn't really know how to back up, like park the truck. I was able to give her a few tips. Not saying I'm a pro or nothing like that, but my trainer just trained me in a certain way where I follow these simple steps and I can back it up. Maybe I got to wiggle a little more, but at least you have the basis of it. So I told her by the end of our training period or our driving period, she was able to back it up by herself. So, something worked. The driver that was driving with all those loads to California and stuff, when he left the company, he did a solid for me. He told our DM, our dispatch at that time, to let me be the one that's going to be the head of the truck. So when he left, I became the lead of that truck. So that truck was now mine. I was going to keep the same DM, and I was supposed to get the same loads he was getting. So he was like looking out for me because he knows I'm trying to get paid out here. You know what I'm saying? He sees I'm trying to work. He sees I know what I'm doing. I'm not trying to like slack. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of tried to pass on his loads to me. So I'm thinking it's good now. I got my own truck. I've only been here for 3 months. Now I'll have a route to California. I'm like, things about to go up from here. I get my temporary driver. We get those loads to California, Arizona, California, New Jersey, New York. Like we getting loads to Pennsylvania. Like we're getting some good loads, right? Checks were looking nice back to back. I'm like, good. This is what I'm talking about. And then she left. Well, I had a permanent driver that was supposed to start with me. So when his time started, she went to basically back home and stuff like that, and I started with my permanent driver. So when I got with him, the first day, for some reason, every time I get a new driver, except for the driver that had loads to California and back, I guess because he already had so much experience with them, he was already driving for a year. The first driver I had was driving with them for about 6 months, and then the temporary driver I drove with them, she drove with them for like less than 3 months, and then the permanent driver I got after her drove for only like he was fresh out of training, so not even 2 months. So every new driver I got, like I said, besides the California dude, Every time we spent the first day moving trailers, I'm getting paid peanuts to drive hundreds of miles. Like it be pissing me off, man. So I know I spend that whole day just not getting paid really and truly. So then we got some small loads. Like I'm talking about, bro, loads that a solo driver could do, and we're doing teams. Like I'm not getting paid. Like you know what I'm saying. So my problem with CRST really and truly was I wasn't getting the miles. I was not getting the miles, and I know I could have gotten them. You know what I'm saying. So that was my main concern. Like I'm not. I'm tired of every week I'm seeing this dismal check. Like I'm supposed to be getting. I'm a good driver, not to toot my own horn or anything. You know what I'm saying? But so I got upset one day and I sent my dispatch a message saying I'm not happy with the miles I'm getting. Trying to get $1,000 per check is what I was trying to say to her pretty much. I need a certain amount of miles to get that, and going forward I need to get that kind of mileage. She said, I understand. I'll look out for you. Next week comes, I get a trip for 1,000 miles. Still not, crazy. Like I said, we're doing teams. Any miles we get, we split in half. So even if the trip is for 1,000 miles, I'm only getting paid 500 miles, and I'm getting paid 45 cents a mile. I'm trying to get as much miles as I can. So I told her that message. I said, hey, I need more miles. Next day, I got a trip for 1,000 miles. The day after that, another trip for 1,000 miles. And then 700 miles. I think 900 miles. So we got the miles. Like the concept behind it for me, I just didn't get why I had to beg for these miles. One day I'm realizing like I've gotten good miles before, you know what I'm saying? And I've talked to other drivers before and they told me, stay with the company for a while, you'll get paid more, you get more miles. And to get good miles, you got to be the type of person that gets your loads in on time, right? Why give loads to a person that doesn't drop off his loads on time? Make sure this thing is on. Perfect, because I've been talking for a while. But so they told me, there's like three different tiers of people that get loads, right? Like first tier, second tier, third tier. First tier is gonna get all the best loads because they're always on time. Like you're gonna get the good loads, the 2,000 miles trips, like good miles. You got the second tier drivers who get like 1,000 miles and anywhere else mid below that. And then you got the third tier drivers who get the crap loads, the solo loads. You feel me? So I'm thinking maybe I'm doing something wrong. I can't be mad at the company if I'm a bad driver and I'm doing, something wrong. So I figured I'll call the company up and I say, hey, this is Cayenne from truck number 10, whatever number it was right now. It was. And I said to them, how's my record with you guys? Like, am I dropping off my loads early or late? Like, what's my percentage of that? And the person I spoke to came back and said to me, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. You are 100% on time. I was like, what? I mean, it was good to hear, but I'm 100% on time and I don't get good miles, like good mileage trips. And that just sounded for me like, nah, I gotta leave this company, man. I got to. CRST really is not known for the best pay, and that's fine. I never chose them for the pay, but I chose them for the experience, thinking that after that I'll get paid. But at the end of the day, man, I got bills to pay. The bills ain't. I was making more before being a truck driver, and I was working at Disney. Shout out to Disney though, for real. There was them tips, man. Them tips, man. Tip your bellhops, man. If you go to Disney, tip your bellhops. They'll take care of you. Trust me. I was one of them. But so besides the whole not getting paid thing, I had a dispatcher that was just rude and horrible. Like he was just talking to me like I'm a child, like downright disrespectful, like I'm his son or something, bro. I'm not your son, bro. Don't be talking to me like I'm a kid, man. Come to me with respect, cause I'm gonna talk to you with respect. You feel me? So I ain't like that. I guess every company has a person like that, though. I'm sure. Um, the nighttime dispatch, I had one of them where they just went back and forth with me. It was around my birthday. I was trying to get home, and the weather was affecting it. my DM was off on the weekend or something, or he left early, and I got stuck talking to a night shift person, and they were just going back and forth with me, and I wanted to just jump through that phone and just, you know what I mean, like Homer and Bart, why yada, you know what I mean. But yeah, so that's pretty much why Miles wasn't there, which means my check wasn't looking right. Disrespect from the dispatchers, not getting the respect or the, yeah, just pretty much, that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. So I left the company. Leave a comment if you watched this far to what company you think I'm going to go to next. And leave a comment, like, and subscribe, my guys. I rock with y'all. Thanks for rocking with me. And reach out to me. I will reach out to you guys back. Peace.